All right. Oh, here we go. Sub 2 hour guaranteed.
We are underway.
The nice full heart container in the first chest. Always nice to see that. Just makes things a little bit simpler overall. Not quite as nice as seeing 10 bombs in that first chest, because it just makes everything a lot easier if you happen to see them there. I've only seen that happen once, but it was amazing. Because of course, if you get 10 bombs in the first chest, then it's impossible for you to get them off Uncle, because those are the bombs that Uncle would give you. There's that fire rod I said, though.
Yeah, so we did get fire rod.
So he'll probably kill both these guards, because it's basically free, because he'll just... Oh, and look at that, one bomb drop.
Alright, so if you're new to Randomizer, all of the items have been randomized. We are playing standard mode where you still have to go through the escape sequence and rescue Zelda. You'll want to find at least one bomb, as Alucard has, to be able to bomb the 3 chests in the back of escape. Because we're playing randomized swords, that's why we're using fire rod. We also have... I'm trying to remember what other part of my spiel. Oh yes, we're not doing key sanity, so that means that the dungeon items are going to be in the dungeon, which for Hyrule Castle is just a map and a compass.
No, so a map and a small key.
Man, I'm already off my game tonight. We got a cape to start, as you saw from the randomization. So you're still finding the 7 crystals and then going to beat Ganon in Ganon's tower. Indeed.
So yeah, so we've got a minor sort of pseudo lead for Alucard here, because Alucard has that bomb drop already that we mentioned, whereas Skipsy only killed 1 guard so far. We'll see if he gets a drop off this green guard in this next room here.
I believe the prize drops are the same for both runners, so if we saw an early bomb from Alucard, I think we're going to see it from Skipsy as well.
We should. The one thing about prize packs that I'm pretty sure is accurate is that there's like a 50% chance to just skip an item in a prize pack. So that's the one problem, is he might get prizes, but not... He might skip to that rupee, for instance, that Alucard just got dropped.
That makes sense. Well, we will certainly see.
Does take out that green guard. Didn't look like there was any drop from that.
And there's a small key. It had to be one of the first 4 chests. Okay, it was just a single green rupee that
That confirms what I was mentioning, whereas it skipped the bomb drop. It went straight to that green rupee that Alucard got in the second drop from green guards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Skipsy's still going to be looking for a bomb drop. Chad also pointing out it was one of the dagger guards that dropped the one, not the green sword guards.
Oh, I didn't realize that that the ones in the Uncle Escape were different than the ones in here.
Yeah, because the ones that have the swords are the one that will aggro and follow you, whereas the ones with the daggers just stay along on their route and don't aggro you even if they see you.
Either way, I would expect we're not going to see Skipsy getting a bomb here. Only really has 1 extra fire rod shot at the moment, so unless he picks up a weapon in the sewers chest, is not going to have anything to farm with aside from the 1 extra fire rod shot he'll have.
Now, there are some magic refills in the sewers, so if Skipsy does pick those up, he'll have a few more shots with the fire rod.
True. Along with the pots themselves that he'll throw at enemies, I'm sure.
But Skipsy's bypassing the ones that I know are in this room here.
These ones are a little bit more out of the way. It's always nice to be able to... There's 2 in the room before, in the last sewer room, before the rat room, and there's 2 fairly on the way ones there. Oh, it's the map. Darn that map.
Now, this does mean the last 4 chests, the 3 in the back and at Sanctuary, will have items.
That it does.
And at this point, it looks like Skipsy's just gonna make sure he gets that small key from the rat.
Yep, for sure.
And then just not gonna go for the...
Yeah, so we're just gonna continue on here. We're gonna bomb open this wall. We're gonna fire one more fire rod shot. Got a blue rupee instead of what we were hoping for. Alucard also gained that blue rupee drop. Here, 20. 5 bomb capacity upgrade, and another 20. So 40 rupees and 5 bomb capacity. Not what we were looking for, not what we were hoping for, but it means that Skipsy, of course, will not have any problems in terms of not having those at the moment. Will only be a problem of he'll have to come back for them later. Maybe. Maybe he won't come back for them later. Nice 8 bomb drop, though.
Well, with that, the world is the runner's oyster.
Yeah, makes the routing for Kakariko a lot easier once you get any bombs. 8 of them basically make it so that you're actually you're very safe at this point. We may still see the runners depending on how many rupees they get by this point. They may still decide to buy bombs if they don't get a better weapon through the village. Fairies in the crabs. I don't think it's really going to be helpful for our runners, but there we have it.
All right, time to see what we got here in the lumberjack ledge.
Heart container, I believe.
Yep, so we're not gonna, at least for that, we're not worrying about AGA access. So just a lot of health from tree pulls and bush crabs so far.
Yeah, that's about it. Skipsy dodging the crow. Probably doesn't really need to with that extra 4th heart. You want that. I believe that's a green potion. So hard to tell a green potion from an empty one in the fog, but...
I think that is green.
The bottle's the important thing. One more item we can get in our Kakariko village clear.
And $100 from the Lost Woods hut, so you'll be able to pay off the bottle vendor easily.
That can actually be very important for Skipsy, as he actually had no rupees basically to speak of at that point. So couldn't even buy bombs without having to dip some of the item locations. So that 100 may actually be very important for Skipsy. Alucard, of course, having the 8 bomb drop may not even go to the bomb vendor in Kakariko, depending on what's in here.
Skipsy is just going straight for bombs. Not going to check back at tavern. Not going to check sick kid.
A little bit of an interesting decision. I really like the idea of checking a couple of those beforehand. But obviously it doesn't really matter in the long run, especially since we got that bomb capacity upgrade. Map check. That was a red crystal on Eastern, and I believe Hera was green pendant.
Yep, and then just a regular crystal at Desert. Alright, so we got triple bombs from the Chicken Shack, so use 1, get 3.
Yep. Oh, sorry, Skipsy doesn't get to save on that bomb either, right, because Skipsy doesn't... Once again, he didn't get that bomb capacity upgrade that Alucard has, so he doesn't even get to benefit from those extra bombs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that was in the back.
Yep.
So, alright, so $300, really the only thing to write home about back in the Blinds hut.
Yeah, not too much in here except for securing the money to pay off the bottle vendor. But really, we pretty much had that already just by everything else that we'd found. Still money, still all the big 20s. And a lift upgrade.
We've got Power Glove.
A lamp, so that's Death Mountain access. Now, it's only first two locations at the moment, but I would expect very likely we'll see either a hookshot or a mirror fairly early on here.
Bottle vendor just giving you a 5 bomb capacity upgrade. And Alucard gonna get those bombs from the Chicken Shack.
Yep. So actually, if we do find the mirror early on, it's going to make for an interesting decision to make because of the fact that Hera's a pendant dungeon. You may see these runners not want to do it. There's been a lot of seeds I've seen lately that have managed to avoid all pendant dungeon dips whatsoever. Which
is weird, because, like, the lesson I've learned from version 29 is a pendant dungeon will have some form of progression.
So I learned that from V28. V29 is actually very nice for all levels of runners, I find. It's got the ability to route very efficiently, very often, actually.
We must be playing different version 29s then.
Maybe.
Or such is the nature of randomization.
It is.
Alright, we're gonna see here what we have from the library.
And it's more bombs.
Just more bombs.
So after all was said and done with Kakariko, both of our runners ended up with exactly the same amount of bombs coming out of Kakariko. But Skipsy is going to use one more, but get a heart container for his trouble. Well, he's going to use two more because of the little bit of a bomb flub there. But this is the reason why I like YOLOing the race game myself as well. It means that, yeah, you use one more bomb, but it means that if this is something like a heart container, you go, well, I'm already here, I can get it. Whereas if you're not going to go back around for a heart container.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather not risk it, but I do know a lot of the better runners in this tournament choose to avoid it. Red Meringue in the dam.
Yeah, that's... Oh, actually, we already have Fire Rod, so it's not really that great. We already have something to hit range things, but... mostly crystal switches, but, you know, always nice to have one of the boomerangs early on when you have nothing else. Skipsy going straight to the back of Escape will not really be happy with what he finds here.
$50 at the bottom of the dam.
And now for everybody's favorite thing. Moldorms with bombs.
Mini Trolldorm Cave.
Although, granted, you'll see actually a lot of higher runners use bombs in this cave even when they have another weapon, because it's often a good idea to just take a bomb, chuck it over there, and try to kill both the Moldorms, where they worry about the one on the right side. So, very often. But anyways, get some more bombs, gets more money. A mirror, there it is. I've called it.
That is Hera. That is access to Hera. Now, without a sword or a hammer, we can't beat Trolldorm proper, but you can get up to Hera.
And you can do every other location if you get the small key. Small key, of course, can be on Moldorm, or can be locked by itself in the basement. So, hard to say for sure. Hammer, probably another weapon they'll want to look for, hammer or hookshot, before they go up to Death Mountain. We'll see just how much that play is made like that. And then, of course, the hammer or sword to kill Moldorm being the other part of that.
Alright. We're going to see Ice Rod Cave.
Skipsy a little low on health here. Ooh.
Yeah, got accidentally kamikazed on trying to get that first Trolldorm.
Skipsy has to land both bombs.
Gets one. Doesn't get it.
Gonna pull out the green for the Fire Rod. Gonna pick up the heart since he went down to the bottom as well. Granted, the heart's not gonna do him a lot against the crabs he's gonna be running past, if he decides to run past them. So, of course, as we mentioned, Alucard just going straight for the Eastern Palace side of things. Of course, we can't complete Eastern Palace without the bow, but it is a crystal dungeon, which is the significant difference here. Well, if he goes past Sahasrara in the first place.
So nothing in Sahasrara's closet thus far. And considering he didn't just save and quit there, he is going to head to Eastern Palace.
Yeah. So not a surprising decision to see from a runner at this point. I personally, I would be going to Tower of Hera, but this is all a judgment call, especially based on what we just talked about of whether you feel like you want to do, like, if you don't want to actually do Hera right now because it's pendant, you're just going to try to leave it as long as you can for now.
Yeah, I would say if I had a sword and could finish Hera,
yeah,
I would probably do it. But right now, because I don't have a sword and I can't beat Trolldorm, I don't want to have to double dip a pendant dungeon just because I don't have a weapon to kill the boss.
Yeah. The one difference I might have done was literally just gone and done the old man and hoped that he had something and then gone to other places. Because doing the old man is a fairly net neutral play. You get an item, you unlock the last save and quit point, and you go from there.
Yeah, right now, we got a mushroom to start in Eastern Palace. Skipsy is right on Alucard's tail.
And of course, we see no reason why he'll be changing direction after he does this, because this doesn't really give him a lot to change path. The one other thing I've noticed, it is a little interesting that both players had enough money for Zora, and neither one decided to fake Flipper.
Well, since they don't have the Moon Pearl, they can't water walk to do Waterfall of Wishing. So it's kind of what we're talking about. Nothing right now is really a perfect play. You can go to Hera, but you can't kill Trolldorm.
Yeah.
You can fake Flipper, but you can't do Waterfall of Wishing.
Now, the one reason why I mentioned the fake Flipper, of course, just so that everyone knows, is that Zora is in logic with just the glove. If Zora wasn't in logic, I'd make less of a talk about it. If we didn't have the gloves yet, I would go, whatever, fair enough. But only because Zora's in logic do I say it's a play that they could have made but decided not to.
Right. Alright, so we've got 2 items so far in Eastern. We got the mushroom and a big 20. We'll see if that 3rd item is in the vanilla big key chest. If it's not, then it's gonna be on Armos Knights, and we're gonna have to come back later once we get the bow.
Yeah. Skipsy going a little bit too fast, forgetting about the first chest in Eastern for a moment there. I actually wonder if there's any runners that... Well, it's different. We don't have the bow, so actually, never mind what I was going to say. I do wonder if there's anyone who, when they can... Oh, there's the hammer. That's what we were looking for.
So there's your value.
Yep. So no question, we're going up to Death Mountain now. There's no reason not to, because, of course, Zora, though in logic, is the only thing you'd really get over there. It's not worth... Well, if you go the normal way, you could turn in the mushroom at the same time, but... Not really any value there.
And at this point, we're really... If we get the Moon Pearl, we have Dark World access, and the Aga Dream is dead. If we get a sword, then that could be leading us towards Aga 1.
True, yeah. And the only way, of course, that will happen is if Moon Pearl is either on the pyramid or locked by an item on the pyramid. So there's a good chance that we won't see these runners go for an Aga play until they've exhausted all of their options, which would include Agnes Cave, Zora, all of the locations they can possibly get to, and possibly even some that are theoretically that are locked by sequence. Because you don't... Ooh, the boots!
What are those?
So once again, this is where I was saying that going up Death Mountain would have actually been an interestingly good play in this scene, just by virtue of, oh look, I have boots.
Yeah, but at the same time, it still paid off doing Eastern first because,
yeah,
now you can kill Trolldorm. You can also go to Eastside Death Mountain and get the 8 items that are there. So it certainly paid off to do Eastern first and then Death Mountain.
And I really just meant do the old man. when you do the old man, it would have taken about the same time as it did this time, but you would have had the boots for all of Eastern.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying now. I forgot you had mentioned just do old man.
Just do the old man, yeah. Oh, that was a rod. So that's the ice rod.
Yep.
So I imagine we'll see that pick up now. You of course don't know if it's required yet. And it may have even been worth literally going into Dark World, checking the Dark World map, and then getting it afterwards if you needed it. But at the same time, you don't want to risk forgetting where the ice rod was at some point.
Yep.
Or any other silliness that could occur there.
Alright, so Skipsy is going to turn in the mushroom.
I must say, you didn't turn in the mushroom yet. Skipsy, please.
Yeah, you gotta go off screen before that mushroom item will appear.
Flippers!
We have what are those and water
what are
toes.
Those? What are those and water toes? Yep. So of course, Skipsy is going to the Zora area because why wouldn't you at this point?
Especially when you put Flippers right next to Waterfall of Wishing.
Yeah. So we'll see how this plays out. It does mean that we could very well find out that Tower of Hera is a complete bust. All 3 items in it. Or maybe Tower of Hera is exactly what we need. We're gonna find out.
Well, we're gonna start with a big key in the front of the basement, so coffee break on hold for at this point. Nothing in the Waterfall of Wishing.
Yeah. Also, potentially, the other interesting thing that could happen is that Tower of Hera has something that's not entirely required, such as a sword or a mail upgrade, and Alucard has it, and Skipsy does it for a long time, if not the entire race.
I missed what was on the Zora ledge, but it didn't seem like it was... I didn't seem like it was anything.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. Let me see if I can catch it on the restream. Oh, it's the Moon Pearl! It's the Moon Pearl!
Alright, ignore the idiot commentator. I got my life lesson. We're gonna see if Skipsy gets a life lesson here. And it's...
10 for 1 trading.
10% return on investment.
Is that both items, or is that just the first item?
That was just the first one.
Okay.
So we've seen the map. It was big key map, 5 arrow upgrade, and then so we still have 2 chances to avoid the coffee break room.
Yeah. And
right,
so it's either the small key or it's the item. So yeah, so we're in a very interesting situation now, because now we're exactly what I said, is there's a decent chance that Tower of Hera is not at all required. And we're just going to have done this for almost nothing, but we'll see. We'll see how this turns out in the long run. Because of course, now that Skipsy has full Dark World access, with the Moon Pearl. Oh. Take the Moldorm push.
Trolled again.
Of course, Trolldorm with just the hammer, a little more dangerous than with the sword. You have no defense against him. You basically have to avoid you avoid him or else. Nice second hit. Nice third.
And down goes Trolldorm.
And Skipsy going to Agnes. Oh no, he's just going to Dark World, right? I'm like,
right,
what are you doing, Skipsy?
Yeah, so we got Quake Medallion from Trolldorm. So we don't know yet if that is going to be needed for either Mire or Turtle Rock.
Or if Mire or Turtle Rock are needed on the converse point side of that point.
Yeah, there is that too. Alucard going to continue on to East Death Mountain, but certainly turning in that mushroom paid off for Skipsy, and we're going to get a Hype Cave check.
And if Alucard delays, there's a Samaria. on the island, so that will be almost 100% required. There is, of course, a small chance that if Mire and Turtle Rock are pendants, but that being said, you'll see these runners pick it up either way, because it can also be required for Ganon's Tower, and there's no reason to leave it there once you have access to Hookshot Cave.
And we were so focused on the Kina Samaria, we missed that it was pretty much a tripe cave.
Good old Tripe Cave. At least V29 brought back Hype Cave. For the last couple of versions, Hype Cave's been pretty always tripe.
Ooh! Alucard got the that mini troll
The
down
AoE.
on the rebound. Yeah.
Stumpy with a little bit of love. Alucard with a heart container, or a red potion. He's immediately going to use it because he doesn't want to climb the mountain again.
Nope.
Because of course, to get back over here again, he'd have to go all the way. The flute in Cave 45 in south of Grove.
All right.
Okay, now Hype Cave V2. Also known as Paradox Cave, or whatever else you want to call it.
All right, first two items here. 20 bucks and 5 arrow upgrade.
All right. Then we've got our digging game. So we've got 5 items versus digging game. How long is it going to take to digging game?
Well, triple bombs, piece of heart, 50 bucks.
Silvers.
And 10 arrows.
And Skipsy finding the arrow. The
Of
one and
destiny.
only arrow in the dig game.
Yep.
Alucard gonna go do the bonk rocks, I imagine, here. Unfortunately, probably not gonna do a lot for him, although if it is like his first sword or something similar to that, it will give him a little bit of a boost here.
Alucard gonna check Flanktuary, or at least the bonk rocks portion of the Flanktuary items. And just another big 20.
Yep. Skipsy's going to activate his flute.
Yep.
We'll see if he goes straight to Death Mountain or not. Because going straight to Death Mountain will get him his boots most likely. So we'll want to see him to make that play in the near future, but he may just go into Dark World, so we will see. I would not be surprised to see the Death Mountain play. Just due to, as we mentioned before, it is still, even if it skips Tower of Hera, it's still 311 items, even if he skips Tower of Hera, plus the knowledge of the Cane of Samaria, but he doesn't know that yet.
Mm-hmm. Alucard's about to get his flippers.
But here it is, he did make that play, so both players swapping their what are those moments. And Alucard just mirroring Skipsy's play entirely.
Yep, I mean, this is really early, 28 minutes in to see them double backing on each other, but we usually use these times to say, please follow the runners, both Alucard and Skipsy. They're going to be... Usually I say they are putting on quite a show, but stay tuned, there's more action to come.
Yeah, we can't even do half the interesting stuff yet, because we don't have a sword, so we can't do any of our swag dashes, I don't think. And the show's not on until you can start doing swag dashes. So we will see if Skipsy elects to pick up the Ice Rod immediately. I expect he will, but it's always an interesting point just to look at the fact that, yeah, he's not going to, so he will leave the Ice Rod there for now. I do wonder if we'll see an immediate map check here. We will. And we do see that Turtle Rock is a crystal. It is required. Skull Woods being the 5 crystal, and then our 2 Flippers locations, our 2 Flippers dungeons being the pendants.
However, we already know that because the Moon Pearl is how you get to... the Flippers are how you get to the Moon Pearl by way of Zora Ledge, those Flippers still paid off.
Yeah. Yeah, Flipper's already paid for themselves. It means that we already have full ability to do Swamp Palace now?
We don't have the hook shot yet.
Oh,
so
the hook
we
shot,
can't-
right, of course. And Alucard mirroring Skipsy, Skipsy still mirroring Alucard, both of them making the same parts of the plays in the same order. I expect that we will see the Cave 45, although you never know, Alucard could do something slightly different here. I don't expect so, given that Hype Cave had nothing in it, though.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Thieves Town certainly seems like where you would want to go next, and you could certainly do South Grove Cave on the way. Well, you can't get there without the Titan Smiths.
No, but you can mirror and just walk through it, though.
Ah, good point.
Which I don't think we saw Skipsy do. I believe Skipsy saved and quit, but yeah, small time save there is you use the good old NMG strat of going to Stump Kid and then just mirroring.
But as people in chat were pointing out, Alucard's actually going to go south.
Yep.
Or, press F to pay respects.
Just got beat up by the flying mushrooms, or whatever they are. But I'm going to call them flying mushrooms.
And actually, because of that, Alucard's going to... looks like he's just going to go straight for Village of Outcasts, which means he's going to miss that flute for now. Yeah, but that's likely not going to matter outside of the case of he finds some really good stuff in Thieves Town. Because he will likely do that. Well, actually, maybe he won't, because of course Hype Cave not there anymore. But I would imagine there's a good chance that he goes and does Dig Cave and that. Especially if he does find Titansmiths in the near future, but there's no guarantee on that, of course. We have no idea where the second glove upgrade is yet. Nice full magic pick up there. Skipsy is into Troll Dorm, and we'll be getting that quick medallion here shortly.
Of course, Alucard on his map check. Confirming that he needs that Cane of Samaria once he has access to it. We'll see what other kinds of interesting things the seed can throw at us at this point. Although, at the same time, the seed's been going pretty well overall for these runners. Really light on the very early game, but the divergent paths having a little bit of good in both sides of them being very interesting there.
Yeah, so far Death Mountain, other than Boots, hasn't really given us anything, but it's given us a lot of knowledge with the Cane of Samaria. Interesting that Alucard is gonna do Skullwoods, but without a sword, you can't cut the curtain, even though you have the fire rod to get to the back.
I would say this play is largely just a good old, I don't have the Titansmith, so I really don't want to I don't want to walk all the way around. I'd walk out that door, Alucard. Yeah, there you go. You want to walk out that door. You don't want to die to be put back where you already didn't really want to be. So he might take a death from this Gibdo beforehand. No, he managed to avoid it. Then there's the hook shot.
All right.
So this might be a we might be seeing a lot of pendants this seed at this rate, because that's access to Swamp Palace. Access to full clear Swamp Palace.
Actually, you know what that also means? That's also access to full clear Ice Palace.
Well, no, we don't have Titansmiths.
Oh yeah, those things.
And we also don't have Samaria, but that being said, we have Samaria when we have Titansmiths, so that's irrelevant.
Well, no, having the hook shot, I believe Samaria is not necessary unless you have the hook shot.
No, well, I don't know about that. I don't know exactly how that works. You may be very right there. I just don't know.
So our tracker, Dragon Master, pointed out in chat, Samaria is required if Cold Stare has a key, which, well, we obviously won't see until...
that part I knew. That was the part of the logic I did know. I just don't know other pieces of why it would occur. And I assume that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just if he does. There's our first sword on Graveyard Ledge.
All right. So now Skullwoods can be finished.
Yep, and now Alucard will jump in to check the King's Tomb as well real fast. Skipsy, where are you going? You don't have the health to do Spike Cave. Unless you're hoping for the health to do Spike Cave, but with only Cape as your invulnerability item, that's going to be a little tight.
He has a red...
Oh, he has to get the Ice Rod. Okay, he has to get the Ice Rod.
We also have a D in King's Tomb.
Woo! What an item. So this could be very interesting, because how long it takes Skipsy to get up to here could be a major factor in this race, potentially. Alucard looks like he's going to make a beeline towards Pod. We'll see if he gets Catfish on the way. He looks like he will. There's not really a good reason. There's not really a large reason not to, aside from just gambling he doesn't have an item, because it is quite the time sink to go to the Catfish.
But having both boots and flippers, this is probably a good time to do it, even though it is that time sink. Because
yeah,
I mean, having done all Flanctuary, unless you're coming back, you know, going from Pyramid Ledge, Catfish is going to be so out of the way. So.
Yeah, and you've already done Zora as well, so yeah. It's sort of like, darned if you do, darned if you don't. Got a bottle, so it was worth it. It was worth the time, as long as he doesn't lose by, like, 30 seconds, and not because, and it has nothing to do with him having 3 potions, but, that's way too far down the line, almost impossible to tell the difference.
So, we're actually already pretty close in terms of go mode. We need Titan's Mitts for certain. Kana Samaria is on the floating island, so...
Locked by the Titan's Mitts.
Yep, so once you get Titan's Mitts, you'll get that. You need at least Master Sword to kill Ganon. You'd really like to find a Tempered Sword. And then from there, it's just kind of what medallions we need.
It's the medallions, yeah. We're definitely just about it. The only problem is there's not enough dungeons that are full clearable right now, but that's why I expect that Pod and... I expect the completion of Eastern will come with it. Normally you don't see runners bother to complete the dungeons they've already cleared too early, but it's a little bit different, of course, when you can do Pod and Eastern at the same time. So we'll see the full clear of Eastern, and then we'll also see the completion of Pod, full clear of Pod, and then the completion of, the finishing of Armos Knights in Eastern.
Okay, Alucard mirrored here to do a hobo check, and just $5 from a homeless hobo.
Skipsy getting trolled by the red jelly there.
And we are going to go ahead and see a play on Pod from Alucard.
Yeah, unsurprisingly. We'll also likely see the Sahasrara turn in here. Down more. Okay, or he's just not doing it right now. Hopefully he doesn't forget about that. He may, of course, do it after the both dungeons. Of course, maybe thinking about how close he is to go mode and how much there is in Pod versus just one item outside of Pod. Can't get through this, Skipsy. You need to pull it down further. And that's an annoying situation for Skipsy. Not much you can do about it at that point, unfortunately. Without a sword, you can't use any other items in a doorway except for your sword swing. Did get both Gibdos there with one throw. Last spurt of Fire Rod killed both. Book of Medora.
Alright, we have literacy from Pod.
Which, of course, now makes Desert Palace full clearable. Nice strat from Alucard there. Just like, whoops, that bomb was too early. I'll just take the hit and blow up the floor at the same time.
Yep.
But, yeah, the no-key strat, not quite as good.
Yeah, there is that problem.
But Master Sword, so just that much closer to go mode. Of course, with Alucard already having silvers, though Master Sword is a pain in the butt, at least he already has the ability to... he already has a safety for Ganon in his pocket. Now, that being said, we're also on green mail and 6 or 7 hearts, depending on which runner we're talking about. So, we still... There's still a little bit further of go mode of how safe do you need to be to actually straight up go. Because I had a race like that as well, where I got into go mode and I'm on 9 hearts and green mail. I'm like, well, how hard do I go? Do I open it? Do I open? What chest do I open? What chest do I skip?
All right.
Of course, Alucard. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he picked up the 2 small keys. Didn't elect to use the hammer to just go into the main room from that side room. Just mirrored instead, but heading straight for the back.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably the faster strategy there. Like, even if you pull off the perfect bonk, you often have to screen transition out and back just to reset the guys that got in there. Alucard electing to open this room instead of going downstairs first. If he had gone downstairs first, he would have not gotten a key down here, and he would have been able to know that chest did not have, or that Harmless Hellway did have a small key in it. Small time save that could have been done, but at the same time, if you're not great at that kind of thinking, it's always best to just full clear every chest just to make sure you didn't leave an item behind because you miscounted something.
Alright, there's the big key.
Yeah.
Alright, so that pretty much... I was about to say something stupid, but let's see what's in the big chest before I make sure that I say the stupid thing. No, it was what I was gonna say. The vanilla big key chest, you would have used the key to burn a key.
Oh right, yeah. But yeah, you actually already know by the time that you finish the back. If you did not open vanilla big key chest before you go to the back, and you're able to complete the back and you only have 1 key left, you know that is also a small key. Same virtue as the Harmless Hellway. Nice 100 rupees from Skipsy as the random item in the chest game. Probably won't matter a lot, although of course having a little bit more potion money doesn't hurt.
Especially when you're still only at 8 hearts green mail.
Yeah.
And we are going to see Skipsy go into Thieves Town. So other than the book,
There's really the blue mail.
Other than the book, we didn't really find much in Pod at this point.
No, but at least you're going to see a full clear of it from both players anyways, just by virtue of that big key was way in the back. So even if Skipsy doesn't... Well, Skipsy doesn't have the bow yet, of course. Although... No, it was bow-locked. The pod was bow-locked past... Like, the first chest did have a key. But you couldn't get beyond the next set of rooms without going over to the Mimic side.
Mm-hmm. Make sure... Alright, well, let's see what these 2 chests are first. Small key there.
Both males. Okay.
Wow. Well, now 8 hearts doesn't look as daunting.
No, not at all. Like, now we're at this point where yeah, so we're gonna once these runners do hit go mode, I would expect at this point that they are in go mode. Even just on 8 hearts, 8 hearts with Master Sword and Silvers is enough for a lot of runners of this level to be able to do Ganon somewhat reasonably, especially with 3 potions as well, of course. Nice arrow by Alucard there to quickly finish off Helmasaur.
Yep. And gets the first crystal of the game 45 minutes in.
He gets another crystal for the reward, a small green one. Fortunately, that small green crystal only being worth 1 rupee, and no one really wanted to find it, but there it is.
No, not at all.
And we find the map there. May as well just take the death, Skipsy, yeah. So a small time... Oh, except for the fact they had a fairy. That I forgot about. I think I saw him pick up that fairy in a bottle. I can't remember where it was, but...
I just remember whatever bottle it was, the fairy was already in it. He doesn't have to swag that.
Yeah. Of course, here's Alucard's clear of Eastern. We're not going to get anything new for this, aside from being a 5/6 crystal clear. And of course, I would expect to see Skull Woods on the docket here, potentially quickly. Depends on how, if there's any value that Alucard does put on the Pyramid Fairy. But of course, lots of plays to be had here. The Titan's Mitts is the thing that's, of course, really going to open some more up to these runners. Alucard's still missing the flute as well, though.
Yeah, I imagine he'll probably head back to Skullwoods and Thieves Town soon.
Yeah, I would expect that to be the case. I've not been counting items, but I'm going to believe Skipsy when he's going over here that we do not have all the items in here yet.
Yeah, we're at 3.
We're at 3, okay. Obviously, both males. There's the compass, just what we wanted to find. By just what we wanted to find, I mean just what we really didn't need to see. But that being said, if you've already decided to do it, it really doesn't matter if that's the item or not. You already know you're going to kill blind. And of course, the easiest Armos Knights fights in history are the Silver Arrow ones.
Yep, Alucard's just gonna play Ring Around the Armos Knights.
Takes a hit, but that
the
doesn't matter.
Ashes, the Armos Knights fall down.
Skipsy looks like he's close to a script here. It took some hits, but no problems. Another heart is nice. We'll see if Skipsy keeps going up and around, and what way he decides to do this. Yeah, Alucard not turning in Green Pendant while he was over there is interesting. Not sure whether he sort of forgot that he already had it, or whether it's some level of calculation. I would expect there's a large degree of he forgot that he had the Green Pendant already.
Alright, so now we're gonna see Skipsy head into Pod. I imagine do Eastern as well while he's here.
Yeah. Alucard straight up to Skull Woods. Again.
Now we're still looking for one item in Skull Woods.
Yep. And of course... See it, Skipsy. Let's see it. See how you can do this. Okay, so who else would have turned around and picked up that 8 bomb drop? Not, even though they know they don't really need it.
I mean, at this point with 20 bombs, I wouldn't have bothered.
Well, I know, but how many people would do it just by... It's like, oh, it's an 8 bomb drop, gotta grab it. And then you're like, oh, right, I have 20 bombs, I don't need any more bombs. Skipsy not doing that bomb drop, realizing, of course, he doesn't have a key. Picks up his Master Sword. Immediately mirrors out. And... is forgetting that he needs to do the Mimic side?
No, because I don't think
he did it before this, okay.
Yep, and now he's gonna see no key here.
And now he's forgetting that he needs to do Mimic side.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Alucard gonna burn a green potion.
Not a bad decision when you're on 6 hearts green mail. You just want to. You don't even want to go near the moth because he'll hurt you.
All right, 10 bomb upgrade from Mothula and a crystal.
Of course, as I mentioned before, that is the 5/6 crystal. The other one, so we have access to the Pyramid Fairy once one of our runners once Alucard decides to go that way. Not sure how quickly he will get there. Both by virtue of I'm not sure what his value on it is, as well as the fact that the flute is on the way to that.
But we're gonna get a ped check.
Shall see. A little bit of love.
And pedestal's dead.
To be fair, that was about as expected, because at this point, is there anything that could even be there at this point?
Probably just it would have only been a medallion to get into Mire or Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
We need Titan Smiths for Ice Palace.
Yeah. Yeah, see, the only real troll left that the seed could throw out just for the heck of it would or the main one would be putting the Titan's Mitts in Swamp Palace.
Which Randomizer is certainly not above doing that.
No, especially as a 6-item location, and especially because the front of Swamp Palace was pretty accessible this seed, given how early we had all the items to access that. Specifically, of course, pre-Dark World, and the hookshot not being locked much behind that. So, definitely very possible that we end up with something in the front of Swamp Palace.
Chat disappointed that we're casually dismissing their love for the pedestal seed. I didn't really get a chance to get in there that it was pretty low. It was going to be a pedestal anyway, but go ahead, Spiffers.
I was about to say, but it was only a little love in the first place, guys. It was just like, it wasn't even a crush. Wasn't even a crush.
There'll be plenty more. There's plenty more seeds out in the world. You'll certainly find one that has a pedestal seed.
I haven't seen a lot of pedestal in what I've watched lately, actually. It's been almost surprisingly low. That was far enough. I didn't think he threw that bomb far enough. So Alucard, of course, onto his adventure in Thieves Town. Gonna suddenly have a whole lot of safety. Gonna be like, why didn't I do this before Skullwoods? But that being said, he didn't die in Skullwoods. He just had to use a green potion or a blue. I feel like he already used green.
No, he used the green to refill his magic, but
okay.
He didn't actually so he's fine.
Yeah.
I actually think didn't Alucard buy some blue potions when he got the flippers, I think.
He did. That's why I was commenting on it a little bit.
Alright, so while we're double backing on these places the runners have been, at this point, We know Kana Samaria is on the floating island, so, and we just need Titan's Mitts to get there. And then, realistically, we're just waiting to see Turtle Rock and Meyer to know if we need Bombos or Ether for either of those two. And if they're both Quake, then we're in go mode.
Yeah, Titan's Mitts quasi-go mode is a bit of a pain in the butt, because until you have the medallions, you're like, well, Titan's Mitts is sort of go mode. So we'll see exactly how this all turns out in the near or far future. We will find out which.
Yeah, at this point, we haven't seen Desert. Swamp Palace is certainly available. Both runners have not turned in the green pendant, so that's still on the table. And going through my Rolodex of locations, that's pretty much all we have left.
I assume you said Swamp. I was sort of watching other things.
If I didn't say Swamp, yes, Swamp.
Definitely
House.
Swamp. Definitely 6 items available in Swamp.
Yeah, most likely you would do Crystal Desert first, just because you want to get the crystals taken care of.
Exactly.
I don't think either brother would gamble Pendant Swamp until they have to.
No, and the other nice part about Pendant Swamp is, or the other nice part about Swamp is it lets you route in the Pyramid Fairy afterwards for an extra, sort of a pseudo 2-item add-on to the Swamp Palace play. Well, Skipsy gonna go back in and finish his Armos. Alucard gonna kill his blind. So where Alucard goes after this could be very telling. We'll see if he does do the south check. There's a good chance he does, as with the book in the mirror, he'll go ahead and he'll want to go in Dark World to the Bombos tablet anyways.
I also forgot Fat Fairy in my list of places that we haven't seen yet.
Well, I've talked about that enough that I'm sure I've covered that for you anyways, so... Anyways, Alucard gets his 9th heart. 9th heart? 8th heart. It's hard to count, guys. It's his 8th heart. Both players having a great blind fight overall. And so Alucard will pick up his flute here fairly quickly. As well as whatever was in the dig game. I feel like it was like, oh right, it was the Arrow of Destiny. The one and only arrow. The arrow that will most likely be kept to shoot Ganon for with the final arrow. Because obviously that's how that works, right? Exactly.
Because while it's near and dear in our hearts, it's not like it's a part of a variable in a game or anything.
No, not at all. And here's the flute. So there's a good chance that he just forsakes his portal for now and then goes and activates the flute, because there's no reason not to.
Well, we'll see. He may still hold on to it.
Yeah. Gonna get a stump kid check first. Yeah, so we'll not do it yet. Which is fair, of course, because activating the flute doesn't do a lot for you at this point, as you're still gonna need to do pretty much everything else here anyways. Oh, we're doing Pyramid Fairy by the looks of it. Yes, we are.
Yeah, this kind of makes sense. You do Fat Fairy, save and quit, and then when you start at Sanctuary, go activate the flute, and then flute to 6 for Desert Palace.
Yeah, definitely not a bad play. Striking a little bit of balance between, of course, just go crystals. Skipsy doing the same thing at the same time by the looks of it. He might just be doing swamp, but I highly doubt that. As we said, there's not a lot of... Oh, maybe he is. Might just be doing Bombo's tablet first as well.
We should also point out that Sahasrara had a shovel. And Skipsy's heading for Swamp Palace. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's a little interesting given that, of course... Well, oh wait, yeah, Skipsy has the book. So yeah, so given that Skipsy has the ability to clear it... Well, at least it was a heart container. That's the only value we're getting out of that, though. Where are we going, Alucard?
Well, that puts him at 10 hearts. And 10 hearts red mail, I think we're good at this point.
Yeah. He's going to turn in the green pendant.
And also going to get his shovel.
I was about to say, may as well just mirror here, yeah.
Alright, so this is going to be a risky play for Skipsy, going into Pendant Swamp Palace.
Yeah, this is a lot of time used for this, and it could potentially be nothing. I'm not even sure that it's... Well, I guess if he finds the Titan's Mitts, he's probably out. Doesn't even matter if he ends up missing a medallion. You can't avoid the potential. Like, I'd say it's worth refilling it to be able to go check what you need for go mode before you really finish Swamp at that point. Unless it's like way back. If it's Waterfall Cave, then, or if it's Waterfall Room, then yeah, you finish Argus and then you go. But otherwise,
all right. Alucard is gonna check that shovel, strike the earth. Just
5 rupees. So yeah, we didn't need the green pendant.
No, we did not.
Did that make Tower of Hera complete quest, really?
We haven't seen if Quake is going to be needed for Mire or Turtle Rock yet.
Right, Quake, yes.
Yep, so we won't see that until they get there. That flute will help us get there. And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you join us for the playing of the National Swag Deck Anthem.
Meanwhile, a powder was picked up by Skipsy, so, that's interesting.
Yes, but with that, ladies and gentlemen, the ostrich is no longer hostage.
The goose is loose. Nice rupees on the ledge there. Don't expect Alucard to pick them up, but then again, he is at 125 rupees right now. If he does want the ability to just have a couple more rupees for potions, we may see that picked up. I think he's probably okay, though. He'll just go for whatever rupees he gets on the way. Skipsy, of course, going straight to the left side. Not a surprise when you're just literally making the play of, I'm checking this till I find Titan's Mitts, or so we assume. And we have the small key either on the torch or in the big chest. Alucard deciding he wants that health. Can't blame him. If you end up doing Master Sword Ganon, you really don't want to have... The more health, the better. For a second, I thought Alucard was going straight to lane mo for just a moment. Five bomb capacity.
right,
Not too much right home of it.
So those were the 2 items in the desert. And other than powder, we really haven't seen anything yet in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. So on we go, get the Landmola's kill. Of course, after that, there's not a lot else to do in terms of dungeons, outside of course, the Swamp Palace that's already being done by Skipsy. Alucard does pick up that 300 rupees, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, we still have a Guinness Cave to check.
And if another lift upgrades in a Guinness Cave, really? Really, Seed?
I commentated a race last week where the bow was on Desert Ledge and had a pretty good laugh because that was an hour and 20 minutes in. So if a Guinness Cave has Titan's Mitts, I may laugh just as hard.
Yeah, well, the difference about Desert Ledge is that doesn't mean you could get to it all the time.
With that particular race, it was more the fact that we were searching for the bow for 20 minutes.
Right.
And then just, oh, hey, we could have just known where it was.
Yeah.
But we are going to get a simultaneous boss fight here. On your left-hand side, we're going to see Alucard take care of Lamulus. On your right side, we're going to see Skipsy take care of Argus.
Alucard will have the ability to have a slightly smoother fight, but that depends on how well he can land his fire rod shots. Done and done. Of course, Argus not being the most fun with Master Sword. Better than Fighter Sword, but not by a lot. We're gonna shoot Argus with a silver arrow. Don't blame Skipsy for doing this. See how long it takes. Unfortunately, Argus moves really fast. There we go.
Yeah.
Point blank arrow to the eye.
There we go.
There's the Titan's Mitts.
All right, so Swamp Palace actually paid off.
So that's huge. Now, fortunately, I don't think Alucard's going to be too far behind this play. The bigger question will be where the heck, or what medallions do we need, and where the heck are they if they're not Quake?
So that Swamp Palace play actually paid off for Skipsy. But I don't think Alucard's going to be too far behind, because at this point, you have to go into Swamp Palace.
Where are you going, Alu? You can't do Ice Palace.
Yeah, Alucard, I just said Swamp Palace is the only play you had.
He never checked Lake Hylia Island. He died on his way to it the first time, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Alucard! I said go to Swamp Palace.
I'm not quite sure what your plan is here, Alucard. Not gonna lie. Like, I guess Spike Cave? He just really, really doesn't want to do Swamp Palace?
Apparently so.
Like, if this was first chest Swamp, I'd be okay with this. With all of Swamp to do, I don't like avoiding it this hard. Oh, Ether Tablet as well. Forgot about Ether Tablet. It's at least it's 2 item locations.
Ooh, swing and a miss from Skipsy on the bomb throw. Or actually, I should say that was way outside ball 1.
Also, I missed the medallion on Myra as we were hyping up where Alucard was going, and we just weren't even paying attention to that.
Skipsy never actually, like, went over.
Oh, he never saw it, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, very interesting.
And just money on Death Mountain. All right, Meyer is. Yeah, hey, Skipsy, I want to see what that medallion is.
No, you don't get to see the medallion. But here's Alu presumably doing the right play, unless there's some like he might do Bombo's tablet first.
Although,
But aside from that,
no, that opens up. Titansmiths opens up enough stuff that it doesn't have to be Quake.
yeah, with Titansmith basically unlocks the rest of the game. Like, let's be honest here. Titansmith was locking pretty much every other item location we couldn't get to. The Smith Chain, Dark Death Mountain, the dungeons in Dark Death Mountain and Misery Mire, and the Mire area. So, you know, lots of things were locked by those Titansmiths today.
All right, Fisher Price, my first shield from the Bombo's tablet.
And now, as I mentioned, we are getting that Swamp Palace play because, once again, there's not a lot left to do. And unfortunately, with not finding a lot of value on the checks that he did that weren't Swamp Palace, likely puts Alucard a decent ways sort of behind at the moment. But we'll see exactly how we're going here because, of course, Skipsy still hasn't done Skull Woods yet either, so I'd put these runners at fairly close overall at the moment. Skipsy having two bosses to Alucard's full clear.
Yeah,
and that depending on if we see the right side first or not. I can't remember where the big key was, though. Didn't notice exactly where the big key was in Swamp.
I don't think it was on the left side.
Well, the reason why I mentioned the big key is that's the main reason for routing. That's the main reason for when you're full clearing to still route up first. Is if you want to gamble on the big key being somewhere up the route instead of left, it can, especially specifically on Argus or in Waterfall Room, it can be very effective to route up first instead of left first, even when you're full clearing.
So chat reminding me why I forgot. It was on the left side, but there was nothing in the chest.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right, he did open it. It was 50 rupees in the chest, yeah. I remember now.
Very nice zero cycle from Skipsy to get Lamulus down.
Yeah, both runners getting that one cycle kill on Landmolas.
Whoa! Skipsy missed Mr. Flight there.
Alucard is going to do the left right away, unsurprisingly.
Alright, I'm gonna guess that Skipsy did see enough of the medallion to know it wasn't Quake, because I don't... Oh, Kana Samaria. Yeah, he needs Kana Samaria. Of course, yeah, that might be a thing.
Yeah. Actually, in that case, now that you said that, would have made more sense to actually do that Dark Death Mountain before you did Mire area. Both because of the item density and because of the fact that you need the Kana Samaria. The only question now is, if you have the Turtle Rock medallion, do you do Turtle Rock now, or do you still leave it for last? My personal answer is I still leave it for last, but I don't know what everyone's answer is.
I wish I knew what the medallion on Mire is to give you that answer.
Well, see, I'm saying that I would have also likely made the play to here before Mire in the first place.
That is true.
But let's see what we have on Turtle Rock. It is Quake.
All right.
And Hookshot Cave, what do we have? I don't think you wanted to pick that up, Skipsy. I guess you can still hookshot to that one, yeah, so fair enough. And then a bunch of love. And his Fisher Price Shield.
Alright. So, but we know Kana Samari is the real prize in the floating island.
Oh, apparently Skipsy never saw it the first time up here. Was probably too low. He was also low on health at the time, so it might have been a, I don't want to go near the dead rocks and die play. So this would also explain why Skipsy did not make that, it guarantees the reason why, of course, Skipsy made the play to do it this way instead of the way that I was talking about, doing this before the mire area.
Alright, so to your question earlier, if Meyer...
See, it's even harder now, because we know that we don't have a second medallion yet, and we know we can do Turtle Rock. Skipsy's going back to the mire area, yep. So either he saw it or he's gambling. And it is Quake. He had not seen it yet, though.
Alright, so 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 15 seconds in, Skipsy is officially in go mode.
So that's 2 pendant bosses that were 100% required this seed. Green pendant off of one of the pendant bosses, not as required, but 2 pendant bosses 100% required this seed. So this basically puts, so Skipsy is a good solid couple minutes ahead of, oh no wait, still hasn't done, oh no, we did do Skullwoods, okay.
No, he does still have to do Skullwoods.
Oh sorry, yes, he hasn't done Skullwoods, okay. So I was about to say, I'm like, this is more ahead than I expected him to be, and then it's because he didn't do Skullwoods, because of course, Skullwoods was a 2-item play by virtue of being on, there's Titansmiths. But Skullwoods, of course, is just a 2-item play, but via Pyramid Fairy at this point, as we already got both items out of Skullwoods. So it's not a very valuable play in Skipsy's mind at this point. And of course, even less valuable because, you know, we're in go mode now. So we'll see which way Alucard decides to go first. 6 or 1? 1 is the play.
Yeah, because he knew that Kana
He knows
was on
that Kana
foot.
Samari is there, yeah.
Yep.
So now, as I said, now the question will be, does he do Turtle Rock first? Because the problem will be that he will also, of course, be on 1 medallion at this point. And you don't really want to do this, fly to Mire. Now, that being said, he hasn't checked the Mire area, so there is 2 items still there. So, once again, it's interesting. It's an interesting little conundrum we could end up with here.
Okay, so having some time to think about this, I would do Turtle Rock, because either way, you're going to have to do a second climb. You're either going to do the second climb when you come back to go to Ganon's Tower if you do Turtle Rock then Mire, or you're going to do the second climb to leave, go to Mire, and then come back. So I actually probably would do Turtle Rock while I'm here.
Yeah, and I think I agree. The only thing that would hold that I would recommend, of course, to some people is in this situation, of course, you need to be a little bit more confident in your Hammer Trinex or whatever other Master Sword strats you have, especially as considering that we still don't have a half magic found yet either.
And also, like, to your point about we're still at Master Sword, like, Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons that you can't... Go mode is pretty much the normal route. The only thing you really can avoid is Laser Bridge. and you may not be able to avoid it if you have to get a small key from the laser bridge. So
Yeah.
a go mode of Turtle Rock is still kind of a full clear Turtle Rock.
Yeah, exactly. You can't skip the big chest unless you're already at 2 small keys, which I don't think is even possible to be at by there. Oh yes, it is. It's possible, but very, very unlikely.
All right. Well,
Maria...
we'll see what Alucard decides to do.
Yeah. Shall we shall. Skipsy goes and picks up some potions. 2 blues and a green, if I saw correctly. Yep. And he is doing Turtle Rock.
Well, he's at least going to open it.
Yep. Well, and there's no reason to open it if you're not going to do it. Like, this is just a wasted time otherwise. You may as well just flute away and do this when you're actually going to do it, instead of having to do 2 more mirrors right now for no real reason. It's sort of like people that say you should open Turtle Rock if you're up here and you have the medallion, and I'm like, well, no, because not if it's Pendant Turtle Rock, because you may never go into Pendant Turtle Rock. Now, then there's the argument of just do Pendant Turtle Rock, but that's completely different.
But he is going to do Turtle Rock. The only thing I would say, and I can verify this because I actually saw this during the Key Sanity tournament, it is actually faster. The faster route up to Ganon's Tower is if you have Turtle Rock open, staying in the light world and using the Turtle Rock portal to get there. So that's why I think people say it is advantageous to open up Turtle Rock if you can, because it saves you a couple seconds on your ascent to Ganon's Tower. Yeah,
but you lose those seconds right then. Is the one difference. Because the only reason it saves time is because you did something that was... You want to do things that are required. Let's just put it that way. If you do something that's unrequired, you wasted time. Now, of course, the nature of randos is that you do lots of unnecessary things because you don't know they're unnecessary, which is always the really interesting thing about randos in the first place.
Alright, I'm pretty comfortable at this point saying that Skipsy is going to have a little bit of a lead, because Alucard, he's about to finish Skullwoods, and then just go straight for Turtle Rock, whereas Alucard's just starting Turtle Rock and then has to leave and do Mire.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a little bit here. The one thing that, well, the only thing that, well, no, there's no saving. There's no real saving this. If we get a sword early, that's nice, but of course, Skipsy will also get that same sword if there's a sword somewhere fairly early in here. Nice baiting the chain tromps away a little bit there. Make things a little bit simpler. But yeah, the fact that I definitely agree. Skipsy definitely has a fairly significant lead here, especially since Alucard will likely full clear the dungeon, unless somehow we get both medallions before we finish full clearing it, because he doesn't know what the Mire medallion is. He doesn't have enough reason to go mode this at the moment, basically.
Alright, and we know the the big key is going to be in its vanilla location.
Or it'll be Bombos.
Or it'll be Bombos. Oh, right, because the big key was the first one. I totally forgot about that.
Yep. So, as I was saying, we might not full clear this if we also find Ether before we finish full clearing Turtle Rock. Now, we do know that we're going to get one chest out of the next 2 locations. I expect we're probably going to get a Mimic Cave as well, because, once again, Ether could very fully well be in Mimic Cave as well. And Alucard is, to some degree, still looking for Ether.
Yep, we are going to see Mimic Cave.
So just this, of course, is just straight up time loss for Alucard, unfortunately, because Skipsy will not do this. There's no question about that. Just Skipsy will not do Mimic Cave. But if you're gonna find something in Mimic Cave, that's the thing to find. Woo!
Yeah, Tempered Sword will certainly help. I don't think Tempered Sword by itself is gonna make up the lead that's words. I don't think Tempered Sword by itself is going to get Alucard back as close to Skipsy as he would like, but
yeah, it goes a long way by itself. Now, that's of course accepting another sword being in the near future, which could be the case.
Yep. All right. At this time, given how close we will be to Ganon's Tower, this is the moment I like to take to let people know that there is a game that we like to play when we get to Ganon's Tower. We're not starting that game yet. I say it now because if you would like to play that game and get in on our leaderboard, you have to either be subscribed to one of our speed gaming channels or have donated 250 bits to one of those speed gaming channels. Once one of our runners makes it to Ganon's Tower, after the 7th crystal, that is when we will start the game that we're not starting yet.
Oh, come on, Laser Bridge. What have you got? If Laser Bridge has anything else good, it's not going to. Oh, wait. Right. This one could be an item as well. Oh, got trolled there.
Oh, yeah, got trolled.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Alucard. Don't do this.
You might want to get that safety door, Alucard. Or burn a blue potion. That works, too.
That's fair, because this is going to be one of the main places he has left that he'll need a blue potion. Because with Red Mail and Tempered Sword for him, Ganon's not actually going to pose a ton of threat. Not, of course, it's not free by any means. Ganon's never entirely free, but just the difference between that and Master Sword is huge in terms of how risky you can play the fight. Also, Alucard will also have likely a decently faster, if not a much faster, Trinex fight with that Tempered Sword as well. Like, there are lots of little time saves that Alucard is going to make up here in the very near future due to finding that Tempered Sword.
Yeah, having the Godmire setup will help a little bit, but it's not exactly, again, like, it really is going to matter if Skipsy decides to do Mimic Cave trying to find the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, and I expect that he won't. Like, he's not doing Vanilla Big Key Chest. He's not gonna go to Mimic Cave because Vanilla Big Key Chest is a much faster check than Mimic Cave is. And another heart. So we're definitely a little bit healthy now. Of course, not starting any games yet because Alucard is not at 7 crystals yet. That's only Alucard's 6th. He's, as we've been talking, he's going to go to Misery Mire.
All right, so here's the moment of truth. Is Skipsy going to do Mimic Cave? Nope. He's going to miss that Tempered Sword.
The unsurprising fact is that he did not do Mimic Cave. No one's surprised in the least that he did not do Mimic Cave. Alucard losing a little bit more time, of course, to picking up these potions, but he is not dying to Ganon today. Oh, Skipsy trolled a little bit by the crystal roller there. And trolled again. And this could be a little bit dangerous, actually.
Yeah, you're at 3 hearts, Skipsy. Kind of want to be careful here. All right, there we go. All right, so Alucard now sees that it was Quake for Mire, so he is in go mode as well.
and does conserve his full magic going into this room, so he'll have Sword Beams and Fire Rod to fly around this room and try to finish it as fast as possible.
Now, what was interesting earlier was when Skipsy got the Godmire, he took the long route and didn't bother getting the small key.
Ooh, got the bonk on the cane dash there.
Ouch. So when we see Alucard get the Godmire, will he go right and just pick up the small key that's in that trap room?
Right, yeah. I'd love to just see someone hover that at someday. It's like, oh, look, I got it. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever would, because I doubt it's even substantially faster to hover that. But it'd be amazing if and when it does happen.
Well, since I suck at this game and don't know how to hover, it certainly won't be from me.
Skipsy, why? Why are you doing this, Skipsy?
Yeah,
because he wants to use his blue potion anyways, I guess.
Yeah, but I kind of be wanting to save that for Ganon's Tower.
Yep.
Especially because you still don't have the blue head down.
So, blue head's dead.
Oh, you know what I think it was? It was because, again, he's having to use hammer.
Yeah. It was basically a safety strat combined with, like, that was as I said, it was I want to heal now, and I want to do it with a blue potion, so let's use all my magic.
Yeah.
The one problem, of course, with Trinex heads is the fact that their vulnerability time is completely based on when they were first hit. Any sequential uses don't increase the timer at all, which is a bit of a pain in the butt.
All right, but with his last magic shot, he was able to get through phase 1 of Trinex.
Yep.
Alucard is going to be going into Vitreous with silver arrows as Skipsy is working on Trinex. So Skipsy will be into Ganon's Tower a little earlier than Alucard, but this race is going to be close, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, if there's not a sword on the way to the Ganon's Tower key, I may even put Alucard in the lead potentially.
But we are about to find out as both runners get their 7th crystals. So there are 22 locations where this Ganon's Tower big key could be in the basement of Ganon's Tower. If you want to play in our guessing game, you need to put in a guess between 1 and 22, having either subscribed to one of the Speed Gaming channels or donated 250 bits to Bifford the Grand. What is your guess?
8. 8 is my guess.
All right. My guess is going to be 5. Last time I said 5, the reason I gave chat was not happy because it's not Zelda Randomizer related. So if you know why I'm guessing 5, that's all I'm going to say.
Fair enough. I actually like 8 because now granted, it never seems to be in the 8 that I want it to be, which is the map room, I believe it is, the double fire bar room. But I don't mind. But it also qualifies for right side strats for the first Dolphos room. That being said, Skipsy doing Dark Magician strats.
He's going left first. Number 1, small key,
or at least presumably Dark Magician strats. He may just do full left. Most runners at this level don't do that though, just because of how fast those first 2 chests are on the right. This is basically the way to guarantee that the right side gamble is possible. That's basically what Dark Magician strat is.
All right, chest number 2. Small key, number 3.
20 roops. A little bit of love and a health refill.
So that's 4 and 5.
Half magic. Half magic could be important for Skipsy, given that he is on the Master Sword. We are doing full left. This is not Dark Magician strats.
Alright, number 6. 5-arrow upgrade. Alucard is going to go right. Now, the numbering is still going to be on Skipsy, even though we see Cane of Brian and Piece of Heart, but it's still the number that Skipsy checks them, which doesn't matter because neither of those is a small key, so Alucard's going to have to go left side anyway.
Yeah, so we are... No right side strats to make the numbering significantly different. There it is!
That was chest number 7.
See, if you average where both runners are going to get it, it was 8. Just saying. A 7 and a 9. Anyways, on we go.
On we go.
So Skipsy, of course, just bought himself another 20 seconds with the full left play here. And Alucard didn't find anything to make it more valuable on those 2 right side chests, so...
We should also say that the closest guess from a sub or supporter was number 6 from Quasimodo, so congratulations! You are added to our leaderboard.
So, now this is going to be quite big, because this comes down to the combination of execution and sword difference now.
Yep, Skipsy is going to be on, unless we find Tempered Sword in one of the last 4 chests in Ganon's Tower, he's going to be doing Master Sword Silvers, Alucard's going to be doing Tempered Sword Silvers, but Skipsy is into the gauntlet right as Alucard picks up the big key.
136.30 there. 136.35 as Alucard goes up those stairs. So I'm not even sure who's. I don't even know. I don't know enough about the timing. I feel like Skipsy may need one of those top right side spawns to be able to still win this, but there's definitely still enough time between them that it's not by no means cut and dried.
I mean, here's essentially what this is going to come down to, assuming we don't find the last sword upgrade here. Skipsy is going to have to do 12 sword spins for Phase 1 and Phase 2, because only Master Sword spins will damage Ganon. Alucard with Tempered Sword will have to do 12 sword slashes with the Tempered Sword, and spins get you knocked back is a little harder to control than a normal sword slash.
Yeah, and of course, any spins that Alucard lands are twice the damage. And there are a number of ways to, of course, get spins to land twice in one spin, which, while it helps Skipsy, will help Alucard more in most cases.
Skipsy having a little bit of trouble with land mode 2.
Yeah, Alucard 4 rooms behind. Now, one of them is land mode 2, but if Alucard does have that real nice land mode 2, got a little bit more time back. Skipsy does clear out that second Wizrobe room, no problem.
Very nicely done.
Second one can be a little tricky at times, be a little finicky on some of the details. And we got the 1 cycle for Alucard there.
That's gonna make up a lot of time.
And a fall from Skipsy, I think that may have to reset the room.
Yeah. He'll have to reset. Yeah.
Yep. And he may have to wait again, as it's unlikely that he's going to be fast enough with this before that bottom one goes out. Well, he just has to relight the bottom one. That's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But that's a 2-room difference now. Like, Alucard is now into the room that Skipsy just finished.
Yep.
So so now it basically, in accepting any mistakes in the Ganon fight, this is now Alucard's to lose, I would say, even. Unless he does happen to find a sword right here. That's not a sword, that's another small key.
He's not even gonna bother checking the other chest. He's got 2 chests left, one before Trolldorm and then Trolldorm's last possession.
Yep. 2 hopes to bring this to a pure execution race.
5 bomb upgrade there. Haircut. Alucard is basically 1 room behind.
Alu is ahead. Alu is ahead at this point with the fall.
Oh! Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I fell behind there, but yeah. Alucard is now taking the lead with that Trolldorm fall.
Oh, got a poke there. Go.
Oh, now Alu takes a Trolldorm fall.
What a hammer hit by Skipsy there. Has to wait to switch to hook shot. Not going to be a huge deal. What's in here? It's not a sword.
Skipsy will be at Master Sword. Alucard will be at Temper.
Alucard is done.
Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a race to the wire.
Okay, Aga 2. How much will Aga 2 change in this race?
Alright, Skipsy was in at 140.40.
Oh, Alucard getting trolled by the mini Helmas. Only a single hit for Skipsy on the first phase.
140.55 for Alucard, so a 15-second difference right now.
Skipsy gets a double, but then gets a 0.
I think Skipsy's at 5.
I believe that's accurate. Yes, he is.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the big pig.
One more. There it is. Alu's done one phase sooner. All right, here we go. Come on, this fight. So, unfortunately, as I mentioned before, Alu has a very strong advantage at this point. But we'll see. Anything can happen in a Ganon fight.
And Skipsy took a lot of time trying to get that over to the cape. That's not going to help either. All right, Skipsy does get a good setup there, given that he's got to do sword slap spins.
Yep. May want to use the cape on this phase, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, another good one.
Oh, right, yeah, caping the Trident doesn't do anything. But no, Alucard definitively in the lead again. Yep. So it is going to take a Ganon fall or death from Alucard to change this at this point, because Alu just using the cape and already done phase 2 and onto the first hit of phase 3 even already.
Yep. Alucard just has to not fall to Ganon. He's got this race.
Yeah. It's not over and done with, but it's pretty darn close.
Yep. With that, Alucard's into phase 4.
It's one hit.
Yep, sorry. Misses the torch glitch, though.
That should... Oh, no, he didn't get there in time for the triple hit. Or even the... I think it would have only been a double with that distance. I'm not actually sure, but...
Yeah. Alright. Gets the third, then gonna... He was thinking about drinking a potion, but... Alright, this should be it.
That's 4.
That's game. Alucard has won this race.
Assuming he doesn't walk off the platform. He did not.
Well, and with that, he finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, 49 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat.
39 seconds. Not 49 seconds.
Sorry, I got... As you could hear, I was getting my words jumbled up. But hey, B-Torp was here, and as we were seeing during chat, V-Torp was also here.
Yeah, sword advantage was everything, unfortunately. Because especially since some of the execution errors are almost not as much errors as they are also part of the sword difference. Is that it? That's it for Skipsy.
And that is it for Skipsy. GG's to him.
And we'll just give it a couple moments here. I do believe we're probably getting both runners in here. Skipsy is unable to officially end his timer. on speed racing. He was having some issues with it, but it's unfortunately it does not. It looks like we've got it fixed there. So we do have our GG done there. What a race. Yeah, just about a minute separating these two. Might even be less than a minute. But the timers were a little off depending on the starting there. But yeah, that was a race. Not a lot of times where both runners were doing the same thing at the same time or in the same order at all, ever.
And GG.
All right, joining us in chat is Alucard2004 and Skipsy. GG's.
GG.
GG,
Congrats
Skipsy.
on the win, Alucard. Wow, that was close.
You want to know how close it was?
Like, what's your time?
Well, it was by seconds, but basically what happened was, Skipsy, you went to Death Mountain to get the Cane of Samaria, then went to Meyer.
Yeah, I needed to check the medallion. But I didn't check it earlier when I was there.
Okay, so then you went and checked Meyer first, and then at that point you knew you were in go mode, so you did Meyer, Skullwoods, and Turtle Rock go moding all three. Alucard did Turtle Rock before going to Meyer, not knowing he was in go mode, and found the Tempered Sword in Mimic Cave.
Oh, yeah. That changes a lot.
Yeah, because he was still looking. I assume you were still looking for medallions, right, Alucard?
Well, I figured it's not too much out of the way to actually do Turtle Rock, not in go mode. Although it turned out that it was a really nice Turtle Rock overall. But I just decided I only have one medallion, and I have to come up here to get the red cane in order to, go back to Meyer anyways. So if I go to Meyer area, then I feel like I'm kind of wasting a little bit of time. So why don't I just full clear Turtle Rock and just do it all? And then I was also like, maybe I'll find a sword upgrade, and lo and behold, there's one in Mimic Cave, which was crazy.
Yeah, and now that being said, if you hadn't done that, just from the looks of it's really hard to say. Unfortunately, by the time you guys entered Ganon, it was basically yours to lose, Alu. Like, you were behind by 20 seconds, but you had the Tempered to Master Sword advantage, so...
Gotcha.
You were ahead, so though you weren't ahead on the timer, you were ahead by virtue of one cycle both the first two phases.
Exactly, yeah. Wow. That's insane.
I blame so many execution mistakes on this. The second land molars was just horrible. Those are all seconds I needed.
Yeah.
I was getting bodied on the overworld, non-stop.
Hey.
I, died so many times.
Well, at least you got some seconds back, Skipsy, because you did full left side, and that at least worked out.
Yeah, in Swamp, right?
No, in Ganon's Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Alucard went right, and there wasn't a small key on the right side, so you had to go left the way the seed was set up.
I think I got lucky that there wasn't one, because I probably would have gone right.
Yeah. And that would have made this race a tie level type of thing.
I'm just so used to go left, and everyone goes right first, so why not do my own thing and gamble and just go left, right?
Certainly an awesome strat, so props to you for going for it. Saved you time this time.
It can save time, it's just math, right? What are the chances the big key is on the right side? It's a higher chance that it is on the left side, so I always go left,
But for that same reasoning, that's why I go right. I like the YOLO strats. So.
See, but if you're not going to go full right, does that really count?
I don't know, but it worked out this time.
That it did. No, you guys basically never did the same thing at the same time.
Oh, wow.
After the initial part, I guess you guys did sort of the same thing through to the Eastern Palace play, I think, if I remember correctly.
I felt really good after going into Easter, because that hammer was huge for killing Moldorm.
Yeah, but of course, instead of going to to Death Mountain like you did, Alucard, Skipsy went and got the flippers and got Dark World access and did all that immediately after Eastern Palace. So you guys were, after Eastern Palace, you guys never did the same thing in the same order again?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
It was crazy routing at the start. Like, at first I felt behind because there were no bombs for me in Escape, and then, yeah, what to do? I was about to sequence break after Ice Red Cave to Zora because I had the money, and I felt the seed was pointing there, but yeah, with such a low amount of hearts, well, that gave me a really good boost, time-wise. Not
the good old, I'm gonna die to crabs on my way there.
Yeah, like, it's scary. Crabs are scary with green tunic.
Yeah, I feel like I almost died like 3 times to crabs. That was the name of this seed, because we just didn't get a lot of health early on.
And then Thieves Town.
You're right.
You're low on health. Well, here's both tunics.
That was amazing. I mean, we got both
crazy.
rods and both tunics very quickly, and we even had the information about Red Cane really early.
Yeah, see, I saw you go straight to Ice Rod, and then Skipsy did the play, and I'm like, well, he didn't need to do that right away. He could have gone and checked Dark World and seen if he needed to pick it up yet. And then Skipsy did that in his play. I'm like, see, you could do just exactly what Skipsy did. And then Skipsy had to reclimb the entire mountain afterwards, but you know.
I didn't want to go to Thieves Town so quickly because I just wanted a sword. Like, I love doing Thieves Town with a sword because the blind quick kill is just so satisfying. And, the whole dungeon is easier with a sword.
Yeah, you got the flute way earlier than Alucard did.
I bet. I was feeling bad about that one, because I was taking a long time to get to some Dark World portals. Like, when I was searching for mitts, like, that was the lowest point. But then, you know, once I realized that killing Moldorm was good, and, you know, like, I had gotten bow and the sword over kind of in North Dark World, like, those were things that I felt good about.
Yeah.
To kind of counterbalance the feels bad mitts on Argus.
Yeah, the routing to Pod wasn't awful because of the fact that you got good things on the way to Pod.
Exactly. I was also scared to go into Skull Woods and maybe even Thieves without a sword, like Skipsy was saying. I dipped into Skull Woods and got the hook shot.
I messed Skull Woods up so badly. I still feel bad about the mummy room.
Yeah, it was a race.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I was just thinking about? I can't remember. Skipsy didn't. Oh, that was the one thing. Skipsy didn't know that the Cicada Samaria was on the that. That's true, right? Like, considering that you had to mirror back, he did Dark Death Mountain.
Know.
He did Dark Death Mountain. Did all the locations of Dark Death Mountain, including finding out what Turtle Rock was, and then mirrored and found out what was on the island.
Oh, just YOLO.
He's like, well, I'm done. It was more of an I'm done here. Let's see what's on the island. Oh, it's the King of Samaria.
Gotcha, nice.
Then I checked Meyer and felt, well, if this is Quake now, I'm in go mode. Let's go. Was that your go mode item as well? The King of Samaria?
I
guess technically it was.
I was about to say, there's 3 ways to answer that question. One is it was the last item that you needed to complete the seed, as we knew in terms of knowing everything. But since you already knew it was there, you could argue that Titan's Mitts was go mode.
Right.
And then you also have the fact that since he didn't have all the medallions and he didn't know what Meyer was, seeing what Meyer's medallion was go mode.
Right. It was like Schrodinger's go mode.
Yeah, so there's sort of 3 different answers to that, because he knew Samaria was there from the very start of the seed. So is go mode when you pick up the item, or when you know that you can get all the items? There's that one little bit of difference there.
Right.
Well, the Titansmiths were a crazy item. I think I wouldn't have gotten so far into Palace of Water Palace if I didn't mess up the crystals on my tracker. Like, I always mess up Skullwoods and Swamp Palace. because
Oh.
it's SP and SW. Like, oh.
I was thinking the dive was a little crazy. I'm like, he has a fair number of locations left to keep doing. So you were you started at least doing as a crystal.
Yes, I started it.
And when did you realize that it was wrong? Like, was it the music or was it?
No, when I got the pendant.
Oh, when you actually got the pendant. I don't.
That's amazing. But you got mitts, so I mean, there's nothing. You got two nice.
Oh, now did
two-
you say it? The music.
2 required
changed.
pendant bosses
Oh.
Yeah.
because Trolldorm had Quake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, all of the dungeon diving you guys did was required.
Yeah,
There was just
but
never a
mitts,
reason to go to Ice
mitts was
Town.
literally the last thing other than Magic Bat because we got Magic Powder in Swamp that I could do.
Yeah, you
So-
resisted that really hard. I'm like, wow, he's doing Spike Cave and Ether Tablet before he just goes and does Swamp.
Well, I was afraid that, Skipsy might find mitts and not have done Hera or any of that and then come back
Right.
with the book and
Yeah.
then done all that stuff. So I was like, I better knock this out before I dive into Swamp. If it's Swamp, we found the hook shot in Skull Woods, so at least we can full clear that, it feels good. And then that was required, so I was like, all right, I guess you have to go through the same kind of things. So
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a really good seed for a match. Like, there are always some seeds who are just gambles, and it feels bad losing to them. But right now, I just felt I lost because I was had so many tiny errors, and this was a good race. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Titan's Mitts blocked everything off until you were supposed to do it, basically.
Yeah.
But we had so much early. I mean, it was crazy. I love when the seed opens up like that, and we can go in a lot of different directions. So I'm looking forward to watching this one back.
It was
Yeah,
it
me
was also
too.
funny looking at how much you guys didn't have through Kakariko. Like, there was what was in Kakariko? The lamp and the gloves were in Kakariko, but nothing else. Nothing defensively, or nothing to use as a weapon.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like, well,
really
you're
hard
a bug.
early on.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, no, that was a fantastic race there.
All right, so I do have to ask Skipsy. Unfortunately, that putting you at 4 and 3 means your chances of getting into the bracket phase are pretty slim. So, your thoughts on the tournament overall, unless you get one of the 2 final spots?
Well, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I hated one race where it was just random, and there was no chance of me ever. If you don't make the right decisions, you just lost. But this seed especially, and the other games I played and one other I lost were really good, and I'm happy that I participated, even though I didn't make it into brackets. Maybe next time, right? There's always another time.
Well, one small thing and it could have gone the other way, Skipsy, so we could have easily traded places.
Like, you both had Trolldorm 2 falls.
Wow.
I wish you really good luck on your matches, and I will follow them and watch them, Alucard.
Oh, thanks very much. I'll look forward to seeing some Super Castlevania 4 from you.
Thank you.
Maybe in a future tournament.
All right, so Alucard, I guess the flip question to you of heading into the bracket phase, how are you feeling?
This was my goal, so I achieved my goal, but barely.
Just barely.
By the skin of my teeth, but I'm just excited to be there. I really like the best of 3 format because you can do some creative gambles and stuff in that format, and I think there's going to be a lot more playing your opponent than necessarily playing the game. I mean, obviously both, but
the good old one bad misplay doesn't put you out.
Exactly. I'm glad I didn't do too many dumbs in the Swiss stage, because that's been kind of a syndrome for me. Like, I skipped Blind's House in one of the matches in this Swiss stage, and it didn't bite me, but it was funny.
Scary,
I skipped a chest in Mire in this tournament, so scary things like that are what get to me. But other than that, I just play to have fun and have a good time, and hopefully I'll do well in the brackets. So look forward to seeing you there. Thank you guys for commentating. And for tracking and putting on the restream here. And thanks everybody for watching too, and like all the people who are cheering me on and supporting me as well. Hopefully I'll do well in the brackets.
Absolutely. Since you mentioned it, Alucard, let's give a shout out to our tracker, Dragon Master 0283. Did a good job of keeping track of all the items that we found throughout this race. There is one final match that we are that is currently being streamed on Speed Gaming, which is Fantalis versus Ganon's Gone Wild, and that is a loser leaves town match. So be sure to jump over to Speed Gaming to see the finish of that race. I peeked in over there, and it looks like it's still pretty close. And then Thursday, June 7th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have the bracket reveal for the bracket stage. So you'll definitely want to tune in at that point. We will, when we know what channel that will be streamed on, we will let everyone know. So, Spiffers a Grand, it was certainly a pleasure to co-commentate with you, and I will give you the last word.
Thank you, Jex Refi. Fantastic night. Thank you, of course, again to Alucard2004 and Skipsy for putting on this fantastic race. I've put their links in chat there if you do want to decide to give them a follow. And, of course, my thanks to Dragon Master 0283 for tracking this race, keeping everyone up to date on what the items were. And thank you, Jex Refi, for commentating with me. Everyone have a fantastic day, evening, morning, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are.